Just like Raghu and Rajiv from Roadies, just like Hrithik Roshan and Harman Baweja, two things are congruent when they have same shape and size. Basically, they are copies of each other, clones of each other. So if we have these three triangles, can you tell if they are congruent? They are congruent means they are exact copies, which means when superposed, they should cover each other exactly. Look at first two triangles. Now this triangle ABC covers LMN exactly. So they are congruent to each other. Now it is important how you write it. Vertex B is superposed over L, A corresponds to N and C to M. So we'll say triangle BAC is congruent to triangle LNM. This is the symbol for congruency. Now we are writing BAC in left, so we'll write corresponding vertices L and M in the right. For ABC in left, write NLM in right. Okay. Now simply reading this will give you everything. Angle B is equal to angle L, A is equal to N and C is equal to M. BA is equal to LN, AC is equal to NM and BC is equal to LM. Okay, this we have seen that we are allowed to shift, we are allowed to rotate to see if two figures cover each other or not. We are also allowed to flip. So if I flip this triangle LMN, it will cover triangle PQR exactly. And we will write this congruency as triangle LNM is congruent to vertex L fits over P, N over Q and M over R. So L and M is congruent to triangle PQR. It is not always possible to superpose a triangle over another to see if they are congruent. So instead, we can simply check for a few parameters which when equal will confirm the congruency. Check these 7 conditions and tell which of these are correct to tell if triangles are congruent. First one, AAA. That means two triangles with their equal corresponding angles. Does that mean the triangles are exact replica of each other? AAA means angle, angle, angle. The corresponding angles are equal. So these two triangles are equilateral. Angle A is equal to P, B is equal to Q, C is equal to R. All are 60 degrees. And these triangles even appear to be congruent, right? But I can make a bigger equilateral triangle PQR. Even now the corresponding angles are same. But these two triangles are not copies of each other. That means AAA condition is not sufficient for congruency. If along with these three angles, I fix one of the corresponding sides to be equal, now will the two triangles be congruent? When three angles and one corresponding side are equal. For example, triangle ABC has angle A is equal to 35 degree, B is equal to 75 degree, C is equal to 70 degree and BC is equal to 4 centimeter. Now can there be any other triangle with same dimensions but different shape? Is it possible? See, any condition for congruency will work only if there is one and only one triangle possible with that particular set of values. This is the required triangle. Now keeping angle A, B and C fixed and length of BC fixed, can I distort this triangle in any way? Can I change any other parameter so that I get a different triangle? If the angles were not fixed, we can treat the vertices as hinges. We can shift the shape, we can distort the triangle. But as they are fixed, this structure is rigid. Shape is going to remain like this only. Only thing we can change is overall size, as we did with the equilateral triangle earlier. But on changing overall size, length of BC will also change, which we want constant as 4 centimeter. So with three angles and one side length fixed, we'll get one and only one triangle. Any other triangle with same parameters will be an exact copy of this first triangle and will be congruent to it. So 3 angles and 1 corresponding side equal is a sufficient condition for congruency. Let's check it in our list. ASA means 2 angles and a side between them are equal in 2 triangles. If 2 angles are equal, that automatically makes the third angle equal, as the total sum is fixed 180 degrees. So this condition is same as 3 angles and a corresponding side equal. Look at AAS. Again 2 angles are equal, means all 3 are equal. Also corresponding side is equal. Even this condition will ensure congruency. So you can club these 2 conditions together and call them angle, angle, corresponding side. AA and corresponding side congruency condition. Next in line is SAS, 2 sides and angle between them. When length of 2 sides are fixed, there are many triangles that can be obtained by changing the angle between them, right? But once you fix the angle between them, there is only one triangle possible. So 2 triangles with same measure of 2 sides and the included angle can be called congruent. SAS is another condition for congruency. Next is SSS. 3 sides are fixed. Unlike AAA, this is a valid condition for congruency. Well, we cannot create a bigger triangle because then the length of sides will change. So with these length, only one triangle is possible. Any other triangle with these dimensions will be congruent to this one. 2 triangles with same corresponding side length will be congruent. So here, triangle ABC is congruent to RPQ. Pause and check how the congruency condition is written. Next, RHS. R means right angle, that is a 90-degree angle. H means hypotenuse and S means one of the sides. Now look at these 2 triangles. Both have a 90-degree angle, hypotenuse of same length and a side of same length. So triangle ABC is congruent to triangle RQP. From Pythagoras theorem, we can get the third side and that too will come of same length because 2 sides hypotenuse and one side is same. The other side will also come out to be same. Basically, RHS condition is just an extension of SSS congruency. Last one, check ASS condition. See these 2 triangles, an angle and 2 sides are of same length in both of these, but they are not congruent, right? So if you use ASS as a congruency condition, you will make an ass out of yourself. That's one way to remember not to use ASS condition. One major application of congruency is to prove that angles opposite to equal sides are equal. Now it's given that sides AB and AC are equal and we have to prove that angle opposite to these sides, angle B is equal to angle C. Draw bisector of angle A. Now look at these 2 triangles. AB is equal to AC. This is given to us. Angle BAD is equal to CAD, as AD is the angle bisector and AD is common in both the triangles. AD is equal to AD. So triangle BAD is congruent to triangle CAD by SAS condition. 2 sides and the included angle is equal for these 2 triangles. Now once they are proved congruent, everything in them is identical. So angle B is equal to angle C. One more property, quadrilateral with a pair of opposite sides parallel and equal is a parallelogram. Only one pair of opposite sides need to be parallel and equal. So to prove this, we have AB equal to DC and AB parallel to DC. This is given. Join BD. Now in these 2 triangles, AB is equal to DC. Angle ABD is equal to angle CDB. as these are alternate interior angles for parallel lines AB and DC. Also, BD is equal to BD, this side is common. So triangle ABD is congruent to triangle CDB using SS condition. Now as they are identical, angle ADB will be equal to angle CBD, which are alternate interior angles for lines AD and BC. That means AD will be parallel to BC. So both the pair of opposite lines are parallel. That means ABCD is a parallelogram. Last but not the least, midpoint theorem. Line segment joining the midpoints of two sides of a triangle is parallel to the third side and is half the length of the third side. So if E and F are midpoints of AB and AC, then EF is parallel to BC and EF is half of BC. This we have to prove. Draw a line from C parallel to BA and extend EF such that it meets this parallel line at D. Now look at these two triangles. BA and CD are parallel and AC is transversal. So angle EAF will be equal to angle DCF as they are alternate interior angles. AF is equal to FC as F is the midpoint of AC, and angle EFA is equal to angle DFC as these are vertically opposite angles. This means triangle EAF will be congruent to triangle DCF. Two angles and a corresponding side is equal. Now as the triangles are congruent, AE will be equal to CD, and as E is the midpoint of AB, BE is also equal to AE as well as CD. Also BE is parallel to CD, right? This we know because we made such a construction. We only constructed CD parallel to AB. So BE is parallel to CD as well as equal to CD. This simply means BEDC is a parallelogram. The property we have seen a little earlier, one pair of opposite side parallel and equal. So BEDC is a parallelogram, which implies EF will be parallel to BC, right? These are opposite sides of a parallelogram. So here we have proved our first point, EF is parallel to BC. Also ED is equal to BC, again opposite sides of a parallelogram. F is midpoint of ED. So EF is equal to half of ED, and as ED is equal to BC, EF will be half of BC as well. And this is how to prove the second point of this very important property of geometry. In the next video, we'll talk about similarity. Till then, see you later.